What's up guys, it's Johnny Candido of Candido Training HQ, and today's video is on an extremely important topic in my opinion, and that is how to mentally overcome a bad workout. Now I'll include a link in the description to a video I've had before on the most important training variable, and that is mental focus. But this is really branching off of that. I'm going to break my advice down into 3 steps. The first one is to decide whether your bad workout was caused by short-term or long-term factors. And what I mean by this is to look if you've had a trend of bad workouts lately, let's say over the period of 4 weeks, or if every training cycle seems to come to the same conclusion. That is most likely going to be an issue of programming. That's where you need to make significant changes. And if you don't do this, if you make just smaller adjustments, then you just won't be addressing the real issue. However, on the other end of the spectrum, if you just had a bad workout and let's say 3 days ago you had a great workout doing the same movement, then you don't want to make those substantial changes, and that can actually be very problematic if you do that. So if it is a long-term issue, then this video can't really help you because that's just too in-depth. That's going to be specific to the individual, and that's not something you can just have a couple quick points and then basically solve it and move on. However, if it is a short-term issue, I can give you an example of what I did in 2 steps I recommend. First, here's my example. Here is me back squatting 525, and what you'll see is it's extremely slow, at least by my standards for what I'm trying to accomplish. However, this was just 1 day before I did my 525 times 3 in the challenge video against Connor Lutz. So what changed in between those 2 squat sessions? And it was literally just, as I said, 1 day, so it's actually not even fully recovered for that 525 times 3 set. What actually happened is that 525 set, where I literally only did 1 rep and was pretty slow, that actually came after the workout where I did 505 for 3 sets of 3. So what I did with this is I knew I was still physically strong enough to do 525 for at least a couple reps, probably a set of 3 if I wanted to. So I looked back at the footage and I compared what went wrong. What did I do differently? And I found out that I was actually going down way slower into the bottom position. The descent was just slower. So going into that next workout, what I decided to do was I'm just going to focus on going down quicker and getting a better stretch reflex out of the bottom position and just seeing how that works out, seeing what happens. So with that in mind, the second step is to look at your last workout that went well, or if you don't have video of it, just try to think about what you did and then compare it to now and just see what you did differently now. It's important, in my opinion, to focus on one factor, one thing that you can change, because if you focus on too many things, then you'll often end up not being very confident and not being able to focus on anything. And I say that knowing that there's always many factors involved, so you just want to pick the most important one. For example, in my video where I squatted 525 for a slow rep, my dog died recently, that caused some stress, my sleep wasn't that good. Those little factors were involved as well, but all I did was focus on one thing, and that was the speed of the descent. That was all I was concerned with, and by doing that, I ended up having the most effective workout afterwards. The last step after, let's say you analyzed it and you figured out it was a short-term problem, you figured out one thing to focus on, then the last step is to realize that you are as strong as you were when you had that last good workout. You didn't change physiologically from just a period of, let's say, 3 days. You didn't all of a sudden get weaker. So now it's a matter of just believing in yourself and still just going into that workout confidently. I like to watch actually videos of the good workouts then before the next workout. Now actually sometimes I do delete videos of bad workouts. If I don't have that one thing that I pick up on, or even after I pick up on one thing, then I want to get it out of my mind. And I think that's extremely important as well. You want to be as confident as possible and be able to go into that workout and be able to mentally be motivated to crush it. Because if you're thinking negative thoughts throughout, you're thinking, oh, my last workout was bad, so this one's going to be bad, then that can actually have a snowball effect, and you just turned one bad workout into a series of bad workouts into a full long-term problem that you have to address. So that's why it's so important to keep everything in its proper perspective. And I want to say that it is very difficult even for someone like myself to be analytical, but then not to be overly analytical to where I just drive myself crazy and make small issues bigger than they actually are. So that's why you really have to have a balance there. And in the end of the day, you just have to believe in yourself that that's just one bad workout. That doesn't define you. That doesn't define your strength level. It's just literally that one time, and a couple days ago you were strong, so you still are that level of strength. It's just a matter of expressing it consistently. Alright, that's it guys. Make sure to like the video, support the channel, subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching guys. Peace!